All right, hello. We are going to crack straight onto it today because we do have a hard session for our arms. You are going to need a loop band for your exercises or a theraband that you can just tie around in a knot. So we're going to do some glutes and also some arm work with that. First of all, let's start with a little stretch. So hands behind our back, shoulders are pulling out behind us. We're doing ear to shoulder. Getting that nice neck stretch. And we're going to swap it to the other side. Let's look all the way down between our feet. Then all the way up to the roof. Coming back to the front. Do a little shoulder roll backwards, then come to the end of your mat. We're going to do our half roll forward, so it doesn't have to be really slow and controlled. We're just sort of doing that slump down to the ground, letting your head drop, hands drop. You can bend your knees to get your hands to the ground. Then we're walking out into a high plank. Hold, walk back in. Do that roll back up again. It's not a really slow roll, just a quick roll up, quick roll down. Start to walk out into your high plank again. We're going to do a few of these. Apologies for sounding a little bit blocked if I stop to breathe. I've just been a little bit sick. So bear with me, my heavy breathing. Roll up. Good. We're going to do two more. Walking the hands out. As you're walking out, make sure you're starting to draw your belly button up into your spine. And make sure that your head is staying in line in its neutral position, so no head's dropping, no head sticking out. You get that nice double chin position. And the back of your head stays in line with the rest of your spine. We're doing one more. On this one, you can actually stay out into your high plank position, drop your knees down onto the ground. When you're in this position, you should have your hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath hips. We're doing a little bit more of a stretch, so we're doing cat-cow, looking up to the roof, and then curling the other way, chin to chest, flex your spine. We're going to add the breathing, so you're going to breathe out as you look up to the roof. Breathe in as you curl chin to chest. Watch that you're not hyperextending elbows. For those people that are a little bit flexible, a little bit hypermobile, you just want softened elbows. Okay, so from here we're going to find our neutral spine position. So remembering that's when it's in its complete midline. So that was our extreme extension, that was our extreme flexion. We want to find our midline position. It's going to be slightly different for everyone, but you can do those rocks smaller and smaller until you feel like, yep, okay, that's about midway. Generally, you say you should lie a plank of wood flat along your back and it would stay there. So chin is tucked into your throat, back of your head is in line with the rest of your spine, nice and flat through your back. Pull your belly button into your spine to hold it there. And we're doing opposite arm, opposite leg, extending out long. They're just staying on the ground for the moment. In fact, we're going to stay on the same side, so right arm, left leg, just gliding in and out. Again, watch that left elbow. If you're hypermobile, make sure it's not locked out. It's got a slight little soft bend in it, I should say. Soft bend, so that you're using the muscles, not just your ligaments, to hold you there. We're keeping our shoulders square to the ground. We're keeping our pelvis square to the ground. Okay, on the next one, we're going to slide out. We stay there and we lift up and down for 10. 9, now the key is that you're not arching your back as your leg lifts. So think about drawing your belly button to your spine. Imagine you've got a big strap around your belly, holding you up to the roof. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slide it back in. We swap to the other side. Just gliding in and out, left arm, right leg now. Check your head position, check your back position, reset if you need to. Thinking about really elongating each time. And 2 more, then we go into the lifts. Okay, stay out long, start to lift that arm and leg off the ground for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, now arching through your back, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slide back to the center. Beautiful, okay. Come off, have a little stretch through your wrists. We're going to do some little circles back the other way because we are going back onto hands again to do some little shoulder presses here. For our little shoulder presses, they're called serratus presses. So again, hands are underneath shoulders, knees are underneath hips, soft elbows, but they're going to stay straight. So not locked, not bent, just soft. And we do serratus presses. So you're pretending you've got a plaster cast from your shoulder down to your wrist. So you're not bending your elbow, you're just sinking your chest down to the ground, then pressing the ground away. So it's not necessarily a big movement, it's just getting the shoulder blades working. So your serratus is the muscle that helps hold your shoulder blades flat onto your rib cage. Get that little sink into the ground and press away. So the 2 things you want to watch for is that you're not arching your back as you're sinking your chest to the ground. You're keeping that nice and strong as we just did in that exercise before. The other thing you don't want to get is that seesawing of your neck. So find your neutral chin position, chin into throat, back of neck is nice and long. You keep it there as your shoulders shrug. Squeeze the shoulder blades together, press the shoulder blades away. If you've got the hang of that and you feel, yep, that makes sense, that feels fine, you can walk yourself out onto your knees and continue doing those serrata presses from there. If you feel really comfortable and you want a great challenge, come up onto your tippy toes and do your serratus presses from there. We're going to do 10 more. 10, 9, no banana backs, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop back down onto your knees. Have a little shake out. We're going to turn it more to core now. So we go back into our little 4-point position, hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips. You're tucking your toes under the back now. So you're going to start to draw that belly button up into your spine, turn your pelvic floor on. We're going to lift and hover your knees. You don't lift your bum up in the air, it's just a little hover so that your back's still staying in that nice flat position, and we just stay there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come down. Take a little rest in between. We're going to do 3 more rounds of it, and we're going to add some variations if you feel comfortable, if you'd like to make it a bit more challenging. Second round is going to be just as is, same as the first round. Soften your elbows, chin to throat, back of neck nice and long. Start to lift and hover the knees. We're holding for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop back down. Halfway through, so for the third and fourth rounds, you can stay doing the same thing, or if you want the extra challenge, you're adding arm motion into it. So you lift up, you have to make sure your shoulders and your pelvis are staying square, and you take one arm off the ground, reach it up by your ear, back to the center, alternating sides. So there's no big shifting of weight, you're not rocking around the place. Everything is staying nice and square to the ground. You're using your abs to do that. You just start to lift that arm. We do for 10 seconds. Start to lift up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Calm down. Okay, so it's nice and slow arms, keeping it controlled. One more round of that, then we're going to roll onto our backs and have a little break. Set yourself up, find a little round, find your neutral position. Let's go. Keep the shoulders square. Keep your chin tucked, back's flat. Nice long reaches. Otherwise you're just staying both hands on the ground and hovering the knees. Good. And let's come down. Lovely. Okay. Have a little drink if you need one. We're going to roll onto our back. I'm going to grab one in between. So, down onto our back now. Take a little moment, get your breath back, and then we're going to go into some core work. What we're going to do for our first round of core is just have your arms nice and relaxed by your side. Legs are going to lift into tabletop. So we want a nice flat lower back. So you're imprinting your spine into the ground. We're going to do some toe taps to begin with. So you want your thighs vertical, shins horizontal. Don't let your feet lift up into the air or drop down below. And we're alternating sides. So just one leg at a time for the moment, nice and slow. Pushing from the hip. Doing some nice breathing. Breathing in as your leg's dropping, breathing out as it lifts. Don't let your lower back lift off the ground. Good. Okay, then we're going to do 8 and we're speeding it up. So we're doing simultaneous scissor legs. So one leg starts down, one leg starts up, and we switch through for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We go back to just one leg at a time, slow for 8. Breathing, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Start to switch it through again. Fast scissors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to do one more round of those. Slow legs for 8. 2. Make sure you've got your chin tucked into your throat. Nice wide shoulders. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch it through fast. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and legs come down. Relax them into your train track legs, so hip width apart at the knees and feet. Hands will go behind your head, and we're doing some crunch work. So for your crunches, no pulling on your neck. Keep your elbows nice and wide. Hands are just there for a little support behind your head. You're setting yourself up so that as you crunch, you're going to think about drawing your belly button down so you get a nice compression around your belly rather than a doming up to the roof as you crunch. Just some normal crunches to begin with, so lifting up through the center and coming back down in between. Lifting up, relax in between. Get your breathing going. So for our breathing, we're breathing in as we lift, breathing out as we lower. Breathe in as you lift, breathe out as you lower. Let's go about 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come down. Arms are going to go long by our sides. We're going to change it into heel touches. So you curl your top half off the ground. It stays off the whole time. We reach around to touch the right heel, Then the left, that's going to be 1. We're doing 8 of those. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And down. Hands back behind your head. This time we're doing an oblique crunch, so elbow to knee. Reaching across. You want to keep that knee at 90 degrees the whole time. We're going to alternate sides on these ones. Reaching across. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Come back down. Okay, so we're not resting in between. That was our sort of active ab rest. We're going to pop right up onto our elbows. And from here, your chest shouldn't be sunk all the way into the ground. It shouldn't be arching up to the roof. It's in that nice midline position. We're floating both legs up to a froggy position. So for your froggy position, you want your heels together, knees apart, and then we take one leg long. So we're just starting on the right leg. Don't take it out so much as taking it forward and long. We're starting on the right leg, reaching it in and out, just on that same side. 2, 3, 4, 5, the left leg stays nice and still. 6, we're going to do 10 of these. 7, 8, 9, 10. You get to swap it to the other side. 10, 9, 8. Check your body position that you haven't sunk. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're doing one more round. This time both legs go in and out at the same time, breathing through it. Nice long legs. Keep your trunk nice and steady so you're not moving at all through your core, through your trunk. Breathing. Should feel a little bit of a shake happening. We're doing 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Fold the legs in and down. Again, we're changing position. We're putting our band on. So if you need a drink, grab one. Again, as I said, I'm a bit sick, so struggling a little bit, so I will grab a drink. And then once you've had a drink, pop your band on. It's going to go up above your knees. Excuse me. So probably don't go super heavy. You want to go for a medium band for today. Up above your knees. Then we come back to our nice lying position. Relaxing neck and shoulders. Feet are hip width apart, knees are hip width apart. Relax your rib cage as well. Don't let it flare out and stay sticky out. Draw those edges of the rib cage in to relax. Once you're in that position, again, we're going to just do the right leg to begin with. It's a little bent knee fallout. So you can see we're keeping the left leg nice and still, and we're just pressing that right knee out to the side, no more than 30, 40 degrees. Then it controls back into the center. Presses out, controls back into the center. So the key is here that your pelvis is staying nice and flat at the front, not twisting off the mat at the back as you push your leg out to the side. So set yourself up for those. Glue the back of your pelvis heavy down onto the mat. Start to press the right leg for 1, 2. Good. Keeping it going from here. So starting to work our little glutes in our bum here. If you want a little bit more challenge, take your arms off the ground, have them up to the roof so you're not using your upper limb to stabilize. Don't let the band bounce you back in. Again, make sure you're controlling in and out. Okay, swap to the other side. Same thing, right leg's going to stay nice and still. Left leg is pressing in and out. Using your abs as well to help stabilize, so gently drawing belly button to spine. Very gentle pelvic floor lift. Excuse me. Okay, on the next one, we come back into the center and then both knees press out, both knees control. And again, control is the key here, not flapping around. Just being aware that both legs are going equally distanced out as well. Sometimes when we have that stronger side, it pushes a bit further. We want both legs working equally. You should start to feel your glutes, deep glutes working by now. Okay, bring yourself back into the center after this next one. Then again, you can have your hands up to the roof or you can bring them back down to the mat, up to you. Up to the roof is going to be a little bit harder. We're going to press up into our bridge and we're repeating the same thing with our legs. So we start with just that right leg, pressing in and out. If you can, hands are up to the roof. As you're here, you want majority of your weight to be in your heels. So thinking about 75% of your weight in your heels, 25% in your toes to get a little bit more hammy glute. The other thing I want you to check is that you're not squeezing your bum muscles together as hard as you can. You're just lifting them up to the roof. Okay, let's swap it to the other side. Don't let your pelvis tilt. Staying square up to the roof. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back in. You can come down in between if you need to reset your back. Final round, both legs go out at the same time. We've got 10 of these. Same thing, make sure they're pressing out equally. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Bums down. We're doing one more round of bridges. This time we're doing our little marching legs. So again, let's start with our hands on the ground and then you can lift them up to the roof if you feel comfortable. For our marching legs, pelvis is staying square up to the roof and we're going to alternate sides, lifting that knee, making sure the knee comes all the way over the hip before you lower it down. Change to the other side, nice long leg lifts. Floating your arms up if you feel like you can keep control. If you feel like you're tilting side to side, then keep your hands down on the ground. Don't let your hips pike as well. We want to think about nice and open through the front of your pelvis. Four, 3, 2, 1, and come down. Beautiful. Okay, if you're like me, you might need to just readjust your band, but we're actually going to leave it on for one more round of exercises. Back to some core work with a little bit of glute activation, so that's why we're leaving the band on. So you just unravel it, leave it above your knees, bring your feet to hip width apart, and then we're sitting up nice and tall as you can. Arms will go long, so you're imagining you're on a piece of string, if you've got your ponytail, someone's pulling your ponytail up to the roof. Arms are long. You're going to take a big breath in, you're looking forward, then as you breathe out, you're going to start to draw your belly button into your spine, roll off the edge of your tailbone, make sure your shoulders are relaxed. And we're just going to go to halfway before you roll back up, restack nice and tall. So as I said, the band is there just to get a little bit of glute activation, so make sure your knees aren't knocking, they're not flouncing around, you've just got that nice steady gap between them. As you roll down, restack nice and tall. And come down a little bit further, just getting those first few lower back vertebrae onto the ground. As long as you can get back up again. This one's all about control. I'm going to do 2 more like that, and we'll add a little variation in. Excuse me. For this next one, again, watch what your knees are doing. We're going to roll down to the side, roll down through the center. Then when you get halfway, you're going to the side and you're crisscrossing your arms over, alternating between right and left. Just notice that I'm not going up and down in between, I'm staying low and just twisting my body. We're going to stay down here for 10 more. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to the center, roll up. Lovely. Okay, bands can come off, they can pop to the side, and then we are going to roll onto our tummies to do a little postural work. Postural work today, we're going to start with our arms out wide in a W shape. Forehead's going to stay on the ground. So relaxing your bottom muscles, keeping your feet flat on the ground. Start to think about squeezing the shoulder blades together, pinching them gently together, then lifting your hands up and off the ground, melt everything back down again. Squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the arms, melt back down. Squeeze together, lift, melt back down. Okay, keep on going. So the reason we want bums nice and soft, we don't want to be clenching, it's because we just want to isolate our postural muscles. Don't want overactive glutes. Let's start to add a chest lift in as well. So you've squeezed your shoulder blades together, lifted your hands. Now lift your chest, making sure your eyes are staying down, chin is staying tucked. Relax back down. If you start to feel it up around your neck, I want you to come down, up high around your neck, come down, have a little rest, have a reset before you go again, because we want actually to be working down low between our shoulder blades. Okay, we're doing just a few more here and then we're going to, as usual, add on. Last one. And come down. Okay, take your arms long so they're going into a Y shape. I need to just readjust if you've not got much room like me. Readjust, so you're thinking about having your arms shooting out into the corners of your mat. Reset yourself. Again, don't let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears. We're thinking nice long neck. Gently squeeze the shoulder blades. Then we're lifting the arms. Hold for a second, then lower. So it's much harder in this position to turn those neck muscles off. So if you get necky problems, you might want to just stay here. And relax. Getting through that whole range with each repetition. Good. Let's add that chest lift again. Exactly the same thing with the arms. We just start to lift the whole chest off. Three more. 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Okay, relax back down. Now that we've got postural muscles working, we're not going to stay there for long. We're going to add into some push-ups. We are actually going to need that band back though. So for our next round, we're going to superset 2 exercises. We're going to superset our push-ups and some external rotation, so rotator cuffs with the band. I'm actually going to spin around to do my push-ups this way. So for our push-ups, we have our 2 options. You can either do them on your knees, out in your plank position, so your bum's nice and flat. You've still got that plank of wood from the back of your head running all the way down to your tailbone. You're going to dip your chest down to the ground, press back up. as you press, you're thinking about your elbows going out on that 45 degrees rather than tucked in or all the way out. So you can either do it there on your knees. We're doing 8 of them, so you want to find a position that you can comfortably do your 8 with your nice technique. Otherwise, you are up on your tippy toes, coming down, and then pressing all the way back up. Again, it's all about technique, so make sure you can maintain your nice back. You're not getting a banana back, you're not curling the other way, your head's not tilting up to the roof or dropping right down. Everything's how it should be in its nice neutral position. Once you've done 8 of your push-ups, then grab your loop band, you pop your hands into it, and we do some external rotation. So you're squeezing shoulder blades down and back. We equally push our hands out against the band, then control them back in. We do 8 of those, and we repeat for 3 rounds. So we're gonna have some really sore shoulders tomorrow. Okay, I'm gonna do my push-ups on my knees today because I don't think I'll make it if I'm on my toes. Please, if you feel comfortable on your toes, absolutely go for it. Let's start to set up chin to throat, and we're dropping down for our first round of push-ups. Lifting your belly button up into your spine so we've got no banana backs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We come straight up, have your loop band on, palms in, facing up to the sky, roll your shoulders back, and we control out both hands equally, in and out for 1, 2, 3. Just being aware here as well that you're not arching your back, tucking your bottom under slightly without clenching your bum. Just to get, again, back into that neutral position. 3, 2, 1. Band goes down, we don't have a break, we go straight into the second round of push-ups. Setting yourself up, off you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Onto your knees, grab your band. Second round of external rotation. So we don't often do a lot for our rotator cuffs. So I like to pop them in so they don't get neglected. If anyone's had rotator cuff injuries, you know what a pain they are. So let's try and avoid that. 2, 1, good. Last round of push-ups. If you can, try and challenge yourself, go up on your tippy toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, check your neck position. 5, 6, 7, 8. Final round of external rotation. Just have a nice band to your shoulders. Setting yourself back and pressing out for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and drop that band. We're done with the band. Give your arms a little shake out. We've got one more set of work. We're doing some side plank work, and then we're going to do some stretching, and then we're finished. Again, if you need your little drink, grab one now before we move on to that last set. It is a tough set though. Okay, so our side planks. We are going to come down. Again, I'll give you 2 options. So when you're setting up for your side plank, you want your elbow to be underneath your shoulder, so don't have it too far out, don't have it too tucked in. You want that nice open position, nice and wide through your collarbones. First level is you can do these side planks on your knees. So if you're doing them on your knees, just make sure you're not tucked knees around. You want to open up the front of your hips, so your knees should be in line with your hips and shoulders. We're going to lift up from there, and your top leg's going to still be bent, and it lifts up and down from there. Then we do some hip dips from there. Otherwise, if you want it more challenging, you do the full side plank. It'll be the same thing. We'll do a straight leg hip lift at the start, and then hip dips with the straight legs. So find your level. Again, if you start on the harder one and you need to drop down, you can, but try and stay up for the whole time. We're going to control, start to lift up, have that top hand on your hip, find your neutral neck position, and we lift that top leg up and down for 10, 9, 8, it's nice and controlled. So this is working pretty much whole body. We've got core, we've got glutes, shoulder. You want to just make sure that top leg is not rolled out, it's rolled in. So lifting the heel. We'll do one more. Good. Come down, quick little reset, then we go straight back up. We do 10 hip dips, touch the ground, lift back up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Watch your neck position, make sure it's moving with your spine. 3, 2, 1. Come down, straight onto the other side. Final round of work, doing well. Hand onto hip. Decide if you're doing it on your knees or feet. Let's lift up. Start to lift that top leg, rolled in for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. They've actually shown this is the hardest exercise for your glutes to work, your glute medius. It's a good one. 2, 1. Quick little reset, take it, and then lift straight back up. We're dipping for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and down. Whew, beautiful. Take a big breath. Then we're coming down onto our back. We get to stretch down now. Find your comfortable position. We're going to have feet flat on the ground, so knees are bent. And we're going to do a little stretch through our shoulders and arms. So a prayer position, folding your hands up to the roof. Let them drop out to the side. Slide them along the ground until your thumbs touch up above your head. Slide them back down and fold. Okay, so our key things that we're watching in this one is that our lower back is staying nice and flat on the mat. And again, our rib cage isn't flaring out. We're using our core muscles to gently compress everything. Tie the fronts of your rib cage in and down. It just means that you're getting a proper stretch where you should be. So through your chest, through your upper back, rather than just cheating and getting it through lower down. Check that your chin's just gently tucked into your throat so you get that stretch along the back of your neck as well. Let's bring the arms down. Right leg's going to go long. We'll go into a hamstring stretch. Take that left foot high up to the roof. Relax the shoulders, relax the neck. Every time you breathe out, just try and straighten that knee a little bit more, or pull a little bit further into the stretch. Just keep it a gentle stretch, though, don't overdo it. Okay, that leg that's up, we're going to keep it rolling all the way to the ground. As long as your shoulders are staying flat. You can lift through your pelvis and mid-back to get that nice rotation, but don't let that hand lift off the ground. It's anchoring you down and you're trying to get that knee as close to the ground as you can. That nice spinal twist the whole way through. Let's unwind, swap the legs over into the hamstring stretch on the other side. Reset your neck position, shoulder position. See which side's a little bit tighter through the hamstrings. Hopefully it's fairly equal. Big breath in. As you exhale, try and stretch a little further. Another big breath in, exhale, stretch further. I'm going to roll that leg over to the other side. Same thing, notice if there's a big side to side difference on this. Is one side a lot stiffer than the other? Does it correlate with any aches or pains you might get? Do you need to work on some mobility? When you're ready, unwind from there. We're going to pop up onto our knees for our final little stretch. We're just going to do some arm stretching after all that arm work. So pull your arm across, nice straight elbow, then squeeze your shoulder blades together, lock that arm in. Might be some sore shoulders tomorrow. And go on that side, take the other arm long, pull it across. And dropping there. Final little stretch, we'll go down the back for triceps. So reaching your hand down low. Again, squeeze the shoulder blades in. Shake it out. We'll do a final stretch on the other side. Reaching nice and long. Beautiful. Shake it out. We are finishing there. Well done. A tough little arm session, and I will see you next time.